there. Good morning, guys. I am meteorologist Ben Peine here on this beginning of Christmas week. And we've got some warm weather to talk about. We've been talking about this warm up this week for a couple of weeks with the good old Ben on a Limb segment. So we'll talk more about it here. We're straight up 10 o'clock. It is Ben at 10 live here on this Monday, December the 22nd. And we can kind of be used to this milder weather pattern. It looks like for the rest of this year, with just maybe a little cool spell early next week. So we're going to talk again more about that. We've got the debut of Grumpy Cat, which looks a lot like that Grumpy Cat right there. And there's Desi right there. So a good morning to you guys. Hope you're off to a good start here. We've got some beautiful sunshine. You see the sun coming through the door. It's going to be kind of a chill week. It's this next 9-10 days are the days where we forget what we're doing, where we're at, what day it is, what time it is. A lot of people off work. So we are getting out of here on a Monday morning. And by the way, it was a beautiful start to the day. Let's take a look at the sunrise that I saw this morning. So got a little bit of that underglow where the sun's first rays hit the underneath side of the clouds before the sun actually pops up above the horizon. And if you're new to the program here on Ben at 10, it's your weather conversation for Southern Indiana, Metro Louisville, the Ohio Valley, and sometimes beyond as well. If you have any weather questions, feel free to drop them in here and let us know what you're thinking about, where you're watching from. And even if it's just a good morning, love to see the comments. We'll check out some of those comments as they roll in. We've got Beverly Hagist with a good morning right across the valley over there. Dennis Gregory, happy Christmas week from Bedford, Indiana. Christian Walker, it's got 33 degrees, 10 days until the new year. You got it. We got your weather jokes, your weather history, and that weather countdown, as always, here coming up. Orlean Whitlow at 27 degrees to start the day there in Hodgenville, 34 degrees now. So we're making it above freezing across the region here. And Christian's got the sunshine. Teresa Wilkins with a good morning as well. And again, yeah, you can see the sun coming right through my front door right there. And the animals are chilling with Mr. P. Purrington right there, and then Desi right there. Annie's on the ground. Everybody's chilling on this Monday morning. Let's bring up the weather headlines here for you today. Some sprinkles late today and into the evening time. Most of our Monday will be dry, lower 50s later on this afternoon. And then we'll have maybe a little drizzle off and on lingering into tomorrow morning, and some intermittent, occasional light rain showers will be possible from time to time, really, for the rest of this week. But it won't add up to very much. And we're still looking at 60s for Christmas Day, and maybe near 60 degrees for tomorrow as well. So feeling fantastic. On the left here is late today into the evening time. You can see very, very light precip being picked up by the weather models, and just a little bit of that lingering on the right side into our Tuesday morning. This is the rainfall total through Thursday, showing 0.2 inches. So we're talking very, very light amounts, just enough to kind of use the windshield wiper, be a little bit annoying perhaps, but not a big deal with the rain. We're not talking about any big storms this week or anything like that. No big heavy rainmakers, but we do have a warm front around the region. I'd say midweek towards Christmas time, that front's kind of lingering near I-70 over central Indiana. So you, Christian, up there in Carmel, will be cooler overall this week. So a temperature gradient, warmest in southern Kentucky, and then you get cooler as you go north with the warm front around the region. There is some slight bust potential, bust meaning a failure in the forecast as far as the temperatures. The temperature you see in the forecast that I give you, again, might be cooler north, warmer south, kind of depends on location. With that front around the region, there could be a decent range in temperatures throughout the area. So again, more on that here in just a second. I'm going to bring up the radar and satellite. It's looking nice and quiet across the region. There's a little bit of a light wintry mix off to our north, but we've got just some high clouds out there, lots of sunshine. As we look at our current view throughout Kentucky and Indiana. Nice quiet start to the day. But we are going to start to see the clouds filling in from the south, and some moisture starts to head our direction. And so basically we're going to be watching from this direction, some clouds moving in, and also maybe some sprinkles in some spots by late afternoon. So just a little bit of a change to our pattern on the way here. And again, I want to thank my mom, Laura Young. So today's actually a nice day. I wouldn't break out this cup on a day like today, but we've got the grumpy version. It says, let's see, I am smiling. For those of us that have a natural resting bee face, this is the this actually looks like my cat, a little bit of Garfield. I think he hears me talking about him. He's right there. Mr. P right there. We've got a good morning from Kathy Kreider. Thanks for tuning in here. And Keith Hennessy getting close to that 70 degrees. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities Thursday or Friday. And Christian, you got it in the 60s. Good morning to John Fox. Thanks, Orlean. And Christian's got the smiley face. So, normally I'd have the at home the Bliss cup or the Big Happy cup, but we got the Frowny cat today. Even though there's no reason to be in a bad mood with some sunshine and a nice chilly morning like today out there. All right, let's bring up some other things here for us to talk about. And that would be located right here at extolmag.com/weather. There's our live show right there. Thanks for liking or subscribing if you're tuning in. We appreciate that. 31 degrees, our current temperature. Has been a chilly start. I don't know if you noticed that, but when you load up this page, you can see the sun rising. Shows you the elevation it is in the sky. Sunrise, sunset, moonrise, moonset, daily weather, hourly weather, the brand new 7-day forecast that I have posted this morning, which shows 67, 68 Thursday, Friday, if the trends hold on. Most of the weather models quite warm, and that would be more than 20 degrees above normal for this time of the year. And then the next question would be, how long will this warm pattern continue? So we'll take a look at that. We got your forecast for today, the weather story that is uploaded here, which does include the weather jokes, the weather history, and all that fun stuff. Quiet weather on the other weather maps here. We got a big interactive map that you can play along with and load up some different variables. I'm going to bring up, okay, we can look up temperatures across the region here, getting above freezing here in the 30s. We're starting to get that south breeze. And we're going to have that south breeze continuing this week, which will continue to pump in these above normal temperatures here for us. This is a look at the future radar or future cast, and it shows by late today right there, very, very light precip on and off from time to time this week. I'm going to click on the cloud layer. We just have some very high clouds drifting over us right now. It's also got the winds across the United States. All right, enough of that. Here's a live look outside with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. We'll go full screen there. So again, a beautiful start to the day, just a little bit on the chilly side, and we're going to recover nicely with sunshine this afternoon as we head to the lower 50s, and that's a decent amount above our normal high, which is 46 for this time of the year. You can check out that live cam, Falls of the Ohio.org, anytime you'd like. Let me get rid of that right there. And hey, before we start cooking here this morning, I want to thank our partners, ivtech.edu. You can go to ivtech.edu, click on locations right here. It takes you to the Sellersburg page. Of course, a lot of colleges are on break this time of the year, which is a good time to get registered for their spring sessions, which you can see a calendar right here. A lot of activity January 12th at Ivy Tech when their 4-week spring session number 1 begins, and the 8-week spring class session begins. If you want to learn more, boom, right here, Tuesdays at the Tech, where you can get one-on-one help with career coaching, financial help, and how to get registered and get going. Lions Roofing, they've got a refresh on their page looking nice here. LYONS roofingco.com. If you want to get a quote, you can get a free quote right here at their website, or you can call them 812-294-3595. Family owned company right here in our backyard. And if you go to their Facebook page, you can see a lot of the drone work that they do, examples of their recent work. But you can see re-roofing, leak repair, metal roofing, gutters, downspouts, commercial roofing, new construction. All of your roofing needs right there, lionsroofingco.com. Shout out to my buddy Michael Long, my insurance agent, my mom's insurance agent. If you want to get a quote, find some ways to save, tell him I sent you to Michael Long here, 812-578-3072. Proud to be an American Star Certified Agency Excellence in Customer Experience. Go to amfam.com, just search Michael Long, and you'll find him right there. We got Perry Porter popping in the comments here. Good morning, Perry. The good old cup of coffee from McDonald's, out early to get the McDonald's. All right. Christian's asking, am I ready for Christmas and New Year's? I am. I'm ready. Always good to get a lot of family time. It's kind of a weird time of the year. Just as far as not a lot on the calendar, except for, making some trips I'll be visiting Indianapolis, Christian, by the way, Thursday, my family there up in the Pendleton area. Yep. Back to work after the holidays, just like a lot of folks, exactly. We're going to try to get after it, though, in the new year, Christian. Maybe get back on that working out train. My brother-in-law, we had Christmas at their house in Richmond, Indiana, a couple days ago, Saturday, and he gave me an app, like this high-intensity workout app, so we might have to put that to use here very soon. Thank you very much, Orlean. Hopefully your guys' Christmas week is off to a good start. Okay, let's move right along. Let's get into your forecast here. Enough of me chatting away here. Quick reminder, we've been reaching over 2 million views over the last 28 days. If you know anybody that'd like to join us with advertising marketing solutions, it's Ben at extolmag.com, or you can just email me a weather question. You can give me a shout out right there. Here's a look at that beautiful sunrise this morning. We had a little bit of that underglow underneath some of the high clouds out there. And some sprinkles will be moving our way late today. I would say as soon as would be late afternoon if we get a sprinkle, but more likely this evening. Some occasional sprinkles, drizzle, little bit of light rain, off and on. No day looks like a washout whatsoever. And super light amounts of rainfall. Like if you add it all up, tonight through Thursday, it's like less than a tenth or 2/10 of an inch of rainfall. So rain, not a big deal this week. It's just kind of a little nuisance off and on. And then we're still looking at 60s for our temperatures here this week. There's kind of a look at the weather models. The left is late today, and then the right is tomorrow morning. It's just enough for the models to pick up on some very, very light precip. And this shows a very light amount of accumulation. Not snow. When you say accumulation, I mean just a very light amount of rain precipitation. All right. Kathy, I miss all of my close family. We'll be home with my 2 cats again. Gotta love the kitty cats, and they're giving us company. Here's your countdown. Christmas in just 3 days, of course. New Year's Eve, 9 days. So 10 days, as Christian mentioned earlier. It's the new year. Our average coldest temperatures on Any given year, right around January 16th, that's kind of the dead of something like that. Today's weather history. So 1989, this impacted much of the United States. We had our coldest December temperatures in Indianapolis and Louisville on this date, December 22nd, 1989, where it dropped to 15 below zero in Louisville and 23 below zero in Indianapolis. At the same time, Houston and down to Galveston, far southeast Texas, they got an inch of snow. New Orleans, 64 consecutive hours at or below freezing. 81 out of 82 hours below freezing. Lowest temperature 11 on December 23rd. So a big chill across the United States. Now, 2004, a tremendous Ohio Valley snow. Record snow amounts in Evansville and Dayton and Paducah, well over a foot. Salem, Indiana. Do you guys remember this? 2004. Our friends in Salem, 32 inches of snowfall. Liberty, Indiana. I used to spend a lot of time there. My dad, stepmom used to live there. 31 inches of snow in 2004. And I do remember this. I actually remember shoveling a lot of this as it moved through Richmond, Indiana. Buena Vista, Indiana, 28 inches. So we had a big one there right before the holiday in 2004. And I do remember that. Here's your stupid weather jokes for today. Why did Santa go down the chimney Christmas Eve? Because it soots him. Soots. Speaking of which, we got all the soot out of our chimney. Thanks to Kaufman Chimney Sweep. We've got a brand new cleaned up chimney. How do you know Santa is real? You can always sense his presence. And what does Santa spend his money on? His jingle bills. Jingle bills. Erica does not remember the snow of 2004. Christian does remember that big snow. All right, here's the forecast today. Increasing afternoon clouds, lots of sunshine out there to enjoy. Currently, though, beautiful start to the day. And then late today, evening time, a chance for a few sprinkles out there. South wind at around 5 to 10. Sunset at 5:26. Our sunsets are getting a tad bit later. Happy first full day of winter. The winter solstice happened at 10:03 a.m. yesterday. That's when the sun's direct rays are over the southern hemisphere, the farthest south. So now, day by day, the sun's rays are tracking north. So we've made it over the hump of the shortest days of the year. Yesterday, the shortest day of the year. And so now we're gradually, slowly getting more light, which will continue all the way until summer begins around June 21st. So again, happy winter. It's finally here. Beverly loving the jokes. Christian loving the jokes. Lillian loving the jokes. And Erica, so thankful for this warmer weather. And the sun is out. Got to try to get some outdoor golf going this week, perhaps. Okay, again, some sprinkles late this afternoon, evening time. Your forecast tonight, sprinkles, some light rain possible, low 47 degrees. Adding up all the rainfall tonight through tomorrow, I was looking at the high-resolution data. It was showing 0.04 to 0.06, though we're talking hundredths of an inch of rainfall. That's how light this is. So the rain is not going to be a big deal this week. It's all going to be on the very much light side. So we'll focus more on the warm, the positive this week, those temperatures. So a little drizzle, some sprinkles tomorrow morning, and then near 60 tomorrow afternoon. Now that 60 can be deceiving. I'm just playing it right in the middle ground. Maybe let's just say I-64. If you go north, it's going to be cooler. If you go south, it could be warmer. So we're just kind of playing the middle ground with these temperatures, as there is a warm front that's going to be over the region this week. You don't have to travel too far north to get chillier, and then a lot warmer south. And we'll see that with the setup on the models here in just a second. Okay, we're cruising along. Typically we get to the weather models at about 10:20, so talking a little slower this morning. 45 is our normal high temperature for tomorrow. So we're about 15 degrees above normal for our Tuesday. I'm going to hover around 60 for Wednesday too. Then notice these little 30% chances of rain, just very light stuff from time to time in mostly cloudy conditions. But we should stay kind of south of that warm front. That means we'll get 67 going for Christmas Day, 68 for Friday, still 60s likely Saturday. And then it looks like a front will move through Sunday, and that should drop us off to some chillier weather early next week, but not bad. I don't see anything crazy cold through the beginning of the year. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it for now with the grumpy cat. All right, current conditions, and then we'll look at the weather model data. We're now at 36 in Louisville, mostly 30s around the area. At or above freezing here this morning. All right, let's fire up some of the data here. So quiet weather, we've got sunshine across the region, a little system to our north. Clouds are filling into the south. Those clouds are going to be inching our way. Not sure how well you can see them here on the map, but there's a layer of clouds right here. That's moisture that's going to be heading our way with a south breeze. So we'll start to see increasing clouds and then a chance again for some late day sprinkles on our horizon. So let's bring that up. We'll bring up the future radar. And we'll go with the HRRR, high resolution rapid refresh weather model. This is at 3 p.m. I'm going to go to 5 o'clock. And can you see it? Can you see that light green there? So towards sunset, we'll have a chance for some of these sprinkles and light rain showers. There you can see it at around 6 p.m. today. So if you're heading out for some last minute shopping, you might be kicking on the windshield wipers a little bit. Just enough to maybe dampen the roadways. Not much though, but that is the snapshot there at 6 p.m. Erica says she has not seen the Grumpy Cat Cup yet. We broke it out at the beginning of the show here. Yes, I am smiling. It's the Grumpy Cat. All right, so that's kind of the nature of the very light precip. Take this into later tonight. This is around 9 p.m. And there you can see some scattered light stuff across the region. And then I'm going to have to fire up the 48-hour version of this so we can take a look at tomorrow morning. If you're getting up and out the door, let's see if we have a little light precip still popping up here on the maps. And it does show mainly in Kentucky tomorrow morning. Some of these drizzle drops still dropping out there. This is 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm going to go to like noon tomorrow. And it shows kind of around the parkways and south, just a little bit of drizzle. So I'd say mostly dry for our Tuesday afternoon across the area. So for tomorrow afternoon, with those temperatures near 60 degrees. So not much precip showing up there. This is the temperature map. Ooh, look at this, guys. This is tomorrow afternoon. Anything in that yellowish area, that's going to be your temperatures near 60 degrees. So the high res data picking up on the warm up here. That would be 15 degrees above normal for this time of the year. Thank you, Lillian. That is from my mom, Laura, who got the grumpy. What the goal is to break out the Grumpy Cat on crappy weather days. There we go. And keep the big happy cup for the good weather days. But today's a good weather day. I just wanted to break it out. All right, here we go. Here we go. Back to the weather maps. So look at that. It's going to be a nice, really comfortable afternoon tomorrow. Let me get out of the full screen mode here. And then we'll clear that out. And then this is going into Wednesday morning. See if we just got a little bit of light precip here popping up Wednesday morning for Christmas Eve. Let me go take a weather model that goes out a little bit farther here. It's not showing much here. Just, again, looks like a sprinkle here every now and again for Wednesday, for Christmas Eve. This is our 24th afternoon. And actually going to bring up the GFS weather model here for our, so we're kind of right on the line. Like I-64, this is what I mean by temperature gradient. It really depends on your location and how warm it's going to get. So Wednesday is kind of a day that could bust depending on your location. I've got 60 going for Wednesday, but if we're just if that front sets up a little farther south, we're going to be a little cooler than that. So I won't be surprised by that. And then you can see it stays around 60 for much of Kentucky, south of 64. So 64 might be kind of a dividing line for at least Wednesday before that front starts to lift farther to the north as we head into our Christmas Day. Speaking of Christmas Day, here is December the 25th. Sometimes some of this raw model output is a little cooler. But I've got 67 going for Thursday, for Christmas Day. But notice, again, temperature gradient. You go north, northeast, you're cooler. You go southwest, you're warmer. So, again, county by county with a front over the region, might have a little bit of varying temperatures across the area. Back to the reflectivity for Christmas, it shows just a little bit of light precip, not much. This is waking up, open up the presents. Santa has come and gone, and it looks like a little drizzle here for Christmas morning, and then looking drier Christmas afternoon. And then going to the day after Christmas, the 26th, it looks like the warm air should linger. And some of the raw weather model output was putting out around 70 degrees. I don't think we'll touch 70, but again, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. But also notice that with that warm front around the region, you go farther north up towards Seymour North, there's 40s. So big contrast in temperatures here throughout the week. I'm going to be very repetitive here. Cooler north and warmer south. There's the day after Christmas. And then into Saturday, the 27th. Notice we are still on the warm side of this thing. It doesn't budge much, though. This warm front just sets over, depending on the day, around Interstate 64 or Interstate 70. But so far, it looks like we're on the warm side for Saturday, showing 60s. And not only the GFS weather model, by the way, but I looked at the European weather model, the Canadian weather model. They're all allowing the warm weather to win out. So this is through Saturday. And then we should get a front to move through Saturday night into Sunday. This is showing that. So this shows us a bit of a temperature drop for Sunday afternoon. 40s, low 50s. So kind of back to normal Sunday. And some chilly air for Monday. This is going into our Monday morning. Get the load up. There we go. And then that shows some lows in the 20s for next Monday. It is winter after all, and those would be close to normal temperatures. This is Monday afternoon in the 30s. It's chilly air, but it's not the wicked cold stuff that's up here. Okay, now they're getting the real deal. That's the coldest I've seen so far this season up in Alaska, showing minus 50s. The cold air is, they've got this feedback loop of where it gets just colder and colder. When you lock up that cold air up to the north, it just continues to build on itself and gets colder and colder. But the jet stream isn't unleashing really across the region. So we never really get the open door to the poles so far, thankfully. Let's go into New Year's Eve afternoon. And it's showing pretty normal temperatures, warm weather out west, New Year's Eve, going into New Year's Day. We're into the new year, 2026. Warm air out west, cool air over us. I bet it tries to get that warmer air in here maybe the day after, January 2nd. Maybe not, but not bad. And the GFS takes us into January 3rd. A lot of normal looking temperatures. Nothing crazy going on. All right, since we looked that far out, it has been the good old Ben on a Limb segment. All right. So for those of you popping on a little bit later, I'm going to go ahead and reload the forecast here for you guys. And we'll get moving along here on a Monday. Are you guys off work this week or next week? Here's that beautiful sunrise here this morning. Oh, nice. Christian's off until the 5th of January. Lillian saying yay to 60 and 70. Sounds great at 60 degrees from Kathy. So the weather headlines here today, sprinkles late today, more like this evening. Excuse me. Occasional sprinkles or light rain showers off and on this week. And then it doesn't add up to very much at all. And then 60s for Christmas Day and a couple days after. This just shows some very light amounts of precip developing late today. On the left is this evening, and then tomorrow morning on the right. Sprinkly stuff. Rain total through Thursday is like 0.2 of an inch or less. So not a big deal with our precip here this week. Enjoy the warmth. 3 days until Christmas, New Year's Eve, 9 days, 26 days until what is typically the coldest part of the year. And then spring, 88 to 89 days. Erica working today, tomorrow, and Friday. All right, we've got a couple days off then. I'll be working every day. I'll keep the forecast cruising along. So our weather history, it was today marked the coldest December temperatures on record. It got down to 15 below in Louisville and 23 below in 1989. 1989 was kind of a crazy year. I think that's when we had some sleet for Derby Day as well. A tremendous snow in late 2004 on this date, where Salem, Indiana picked up 32 inches. I do remember that. Our stupid weather jokes. Why did Santa go down the chimney Christmas Eve? Because it suits him. How do you know Santa is real? You can always sense his presence. What does Santa spend his money on? His jingle bills. We're all spending our money on our jingle bills. 52 degrees, our high today. Increasing clouds, sprinkles late, south wind 5 to 10, sunset 5:26. And we've got 47 a low for tonight with some sprinkles around. And your forecast tomorrow, mostly dry in the afternoon, high near 60 degrees. And Christmas Eve, 60 as well. Cooler north, warmer south. Going to be a range in temperatures across the region. And then 67 and 68 for Thursday, Friday. Still 60s Saturday. We'll just see how warm we can get. And then we might have a system move through Sunday with a cold front that chills us back down on Monday. Thank you very much, Christian. Thank you guys for tuning in here. We got the Grumpy Cat edition. All right. Let me get rid of this. Bring this guy back up. Final look outside here. Beautiful view. The birds are having a good time. See some, looks like little seagulls flying around. Here looking towards the Lock and Dam and the Falls of the Ohio, with the Falls of the Ohio.org camera, if you ever want to check that out. Beautiful shot this morning. I want to thank our partners, too, here at the Sellersburg Spotlight of ivytech.edu. Just go there, just click on locations, click on Sellersburg. Tomorrow, Tuesdays at the Tech. Of course, they've got, like a lot of colleges, a break going on. But if you ever want to learn more about how you can get plugged in, how to pay for it, maybe what to study, they've got career coaching there. January 12th, time to get registered for the spring sessions. We like to hear that. As the winter sessions wrap up, we're talking spring sessions out at Ivy Tech. We'll thank our partners, too, here at Lyons Roofing. If you have any roofing issues, you can call today, 812-294-3595. I'm cruising their website right here, which they just had a major update. It looks awesome. But there you can see roofing services for your home or business, re-roofing, leak repair, metal roofing, new construction, commercial roofing, gutters and downpours. Very cool stuff on their website now. Speaking of opportunities in Southern Indiana, they've got a careers section. You can apply here for their roofing repair technician job opening. I want to thank my buddy Michael Long as well here. He's my insurance agent, my mom's insurance agent. He's helped us out through some of those life events that you don't want to have to go through. Major car accidents, tree in a roof, those kind of things. And also is helping to get those bills down, going in the right direction by bundling, using the app, student discounts. If you want to get a quote, tell them I sent you. 812-578-3072. Or you can go right to amfam.com and search Michael Long. You'll find him right there. There's that job opening at Lyons Roofing. They're right out of Memphis, Indiana, by the way, but they got you covered on both sides of the river. If you have any roofing needs, check it out. Go to also extolmag.com/weather. We've got interactive maps. You can be your own meteorologist. You can see our live show is up. Thanks for liking or subscribing, by the way. We're now at 33 degrees. We started at 31. Get your daily forecast, hourly forecast, 7-day forecast, the weather story that I've posted, and a whole lot more forecasts, maps, and weather resources here. Maybe you're sitting around the living room with the family members, bored out of your mind. Head over here and play meteorologist with all of our weather resources right here. Again, there's this interactive map right here has not only radar, but it's got the futurecast. It's got dozens of weather layers. If you're lucky enough to be at the beach this winter, oh, cool. It's got snow depth maps, but it's got like tides and waves and all that fun stuff. I've never checked out the snow depth. All right, so that's the snow depth map. 51 inches up there. Also, if you click on anywhere on the map, I just found this out. It brings up the hour-by-hour forecast here below. Look at all the details here. That is crazy. So check that out. Beginning to spend some time there with all the weather resources we put together there. Okay, Christian's got a bye. We'll see you tomorrow morning, though. Karen, Razor, thanks for tuning in. Have a great Christmas. We'll leave it with that comment right there this morning here at 10:39. If I don't see you, you guys have a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll still be doing the bin at 10. I'll still have all the weather content going out to keep you updated. Thankfully, no big storms. It looks like a quiet rest of this year. Just a little bit of drizzle, easy for me to say. It's some pretty nice temperatures to enjoy. So All right. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, 10 a.m. It's Ben at 10 on my page. Meteorologist Ben Peine, Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, and extolmag.com/weather online. All right. Have a good one.